My friend and I did another cart crash. This time we went to another part of town where they would be less likely to be aware of who we are. It seems to have worked out well. The other JWs we had been talking to knew enough about who we were that they never call or come by our homes, even if they take our names, contact numbers, and even say that they will come by. So we've been hitting a dead end with them for some time now. This cart crash was kind of a fresh start. This is a short, friendly chat where we didn't really get into anything particularly deep. Our hope was to try and establish some kind of ongoing discussion with these ladies so that we could eventually ask the deeper questions and hopefully get them thinking for themselves. And it worked out well, as one of the ladies asked for my number so she could send me some links. So that new relationship has started, and we're hoping that we can get together and talk more soon. During this talk, I tried to bring up the differences between exegesis and eisegesis. I'm not sure if I did a very good job of it this time, and unfortunately, because this is such a heavy traffic area, it was harder to hear that part of the discussion. My goal here was to try and get them thinking about how some people add their own ideas to the Bible instead of just reading what it says in its own context. Watchtower is overwhelmingly guilty of this, which I'm sure these sweet ladies know nothing about. So we'll see how it goes. FYI, if it sounds a bit choppy in places, that's just because I needed to cut out personal information.
I see the lights and I can see smiling faces. How are you guys? Good. How are you? Oh, good. We're out here doing, what are you doing out here today?
We're volunteers. We do cart work for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh, okay.
And we're offering any literature or Bible education. We give Bible.
Okay. Yeah. No, I read the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, me too.
Oh, right on. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice to find people that are interested in what scriptures have to say, and as far as future too, right?
Yeah.
The Bible actually promises a bright future for us, and it's hard sometimes to think that we will see a time when there's not violence and war.
Right.
But that's actually what the Bible promises us.
Yeah.
So not by man's doing, but by God's.
Yeah. I read the King James Bible. Is that what you read?
We use the King James, but we also use the New World Translation. So basically, the King James it's a language we don't really use as much,
Okay.
but the message is the same. So we compare, we definitely use both translations, but we go to the New World Translation just because it's the language that we speak to.
So you don't use the New King James?
No.
Well, it changes the D's and thous, so it's a little easier.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, it's the same message, but just like a more modern translation.
I noticed here that they didn't share why the New King James would not be okay to use in their view. I suspect that they were biting their tongues here to be as friendly as possible at this point. As far as I understand, the reason they don't like the New King James is because it doesn't use the specific word Jehovah. So that makes it basically corrupt in their view. But they didn't want to offend us, so they didn't state that as maybe aggressively as they would have liked to. One lady does go on to mentioning the word Jehovah being used in the New World Translation and some places in the King James Version. That was a gentler way of trying to explain why they don't use any other translations. We also tried to be as gentle as possible with them. They were sure to proclaim the myth that the name Jehovah appears more than 7,000 times in the Bible, and I think they honestly believe that. We could have gotten into how it's not actually that many because it does not appear in any of the New Testament manuscripts, but that's a conversation maybe for next time we talk. I did mention it being in the Old Testament, and the lady chose not to mention the New Testament because she probably knew we might get into that in more detail and didn't want to go there either. So we left that alone for now, and I instead mentioned that the Bible I prefer does mention Yahweh wherever the Tetragrammaton appears. So I tried to get into how the monk came up with the word Jehovah, but I kind of botched that up. That's my bad memory doing its thing again. The word was developed rather creatively by combining the tetragrammaton with the vowels from Adonai. So that's how we know for sure that it's not the original pronunciation and Yahweh is much closer to what it actually is. The Watchtower even admitted as much. Though I don't see them changing to using Yahweh because they'd have to change the name of their entire religion to do that. Instead, they need to come up with excuses to stick with using Jehovah, like saying it's the English version. A bit later on, one of them also brings up the Trinity, which we chose not to address. JWs love to bring up that subject to discuss, I think because they feel like they have enough argumentation to disprove the Trinity. Again, we didn't jump on that one either because we wanted this first contact not to go down any possible pointless rabbit trails.
But it sounds like the New King James is updated. Yeah, it just makes it a lot easier. And there's the odd word in the King James version that has a different, like a very different meaning today. Not too many instances, but I can't think of one as an example off the top of my head.
Well, I was just going to add to it. One very important thing that the New World Translation that we read is restored God's name, where the King James might still have it in certain areas, like Psalms 83 verse 18, and Exodus when Moses was talking to God in Acts. But in the original scriptures, the God's name was put back to where it was taken out. It was taken out and replaced with like Lord and God and Almighty and Father.
Really? It was replaced in all of those?
Yeah, over 7,000 times his name was in the original scrolls. And
so like all in the Old Testament?
Yeah, the Old Testament, and
because like I have the one that I mostly use is it's called the Legacy Standard Bible, and it actually has wherever the Tetragrammaton appears in the Old Testament, it uses Yahweh.
Oh right.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the New World Translation, it was referring to it's Yahweh, or the English translation of Yahweh is Jehovah.
Well, wasn't that like German though? Wasn't like a German monk who came up with that? So I was trying to remember who the monk was who came up with the word Jehovah, and I said Germany, when in fact he was from Catalonia. I'd still like to pursue this issue a little further with her if possible, but on the other hand, it's so minor that it's probably better to focus more on important things like who Jesus is.
Well, I know
he's a monk for sure. I can't remember what he's doing.
Okay.
I know that they, like, in Hebrew, they didn't use vowels.
Yeah, in the red.
And so, like, yeah, so it was hard to distinguish exactly, but like with English, it's Jehovah is, there's actually an article I have that quite a bit of information. I wonder if we even have.
I doubt that it's in here.
It's a pretty technical thing, so it might
It
be.
is,
It
yeah.
is, but there's a ton of information and it's really interesting. So,
Yeah, what I had read before, it's been a while since I remember the details, but yeah, it was the mixing of Adonai and Kyrios, I think. So they took like the vowels from Adonai, I think, and then mixed it in with the Tetragrammaton to make it say Jehovah. So it was like this kind of
It's an English translation, because it's still like YHWH, right?
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
is the Tetragrammaton.
Yeah.
So it's definitely based on that, for sure.
yeah, I have actually some really interesting information that's from the Bible. Like, would you be interested if I texted some of it to you or emailed it? Sure. Okay. Because it's really nice talking to people who have a spiritual interest.
Right?
And so
Hard to find these days.
it really is.
Yeah.
Can I grab your number first and then I'll get your name out? Okay, awesome. So I'll text that to you later. I'll look up some information and I'll send that to you.
Okay,
and
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah, it's quite a deep subject,
Yeah.
isn't it, when you get into it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool.
So you're just out for a walk this morning, or?
Yeah, so we have our weekly walk.
Yeah.
We
Well,
like
when the weather's like this, I need to
Yeah.
get out.
Yeah. We need the blue sky and the sunshine, right?
Exactly.
If it's raining, we usually pick somewhere it's forested, so at least you're a little bit kind of sheltered.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Or a
That's
coffee
great.
shop.
Or a coffee
that
shop.
too, yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to take something like this is actually we're offering also if either of you are interested we do have Bible lessons, and basically this magazine here just kind of walks through everything we hope like the Bible is like where we go, so nothing is outside of the Bible. It's everything is like questions that people want to know, like what's the purpose of life, what's God's plan for the future, why do people suffer, real questions. And so this actually goes into detail of those questions.
Well, that makes me think when you were talking about like studying the Bible, we know these terms that we've heard before. They're not a lot of people don't use them, but they're just regular English words. But one is exegesis and one is eisegesis. So exegesis is when you read the scriptures and you're getting the information out of it within its own context, you're letting it speak to what it says. And eisegesis is when you read the scripture, but you read ideas into the scripture.
Like principles, sort of, like laws.
Yeah, or your own interpretations or definitions or even doctrines. I've seen people read their own doctrines into the scripture. So, what would you think would be more the way you would want to read it?
Definitely within context. So you'll see often for a particular subject, we'll draw scriptures from other areas of the Bible. So even Old Testament and New, or earlier prophecy or something to substantiate that, so that there's a theme in the Bible, right? And that's really the vindication of God's name and His kingdom. And as far as the earth and mankind, you probably prayed when you're in school the Lord's Prayer, where you pray for God's kingdom to come, His will to be done on earth as it is in heaven. So that brochure that both of you have actually goes into, so what does that mean for us and for the earth?
Yeah, I know that too, like especially when you have parts of scriptures that are not necessarily easy to understand. I know that a big principle is you take in scripture what you do understand and what's clear to help you understand those things that aren't clear. So that's a helpful tool that I know that can help with areas in the scriptures that aren't clear, is just by taking the areas that are and being able to help you understand that particular.
So you don't go off on the wrong track.
Because
it doesn't
you're not adding
mesh.
something else to it, rather than just taking what's in there to help you navigate what's not clear.
Right. And two, like you want to take everything into the proper context as well.
Yeah.
Like for example, one topic that different religions have is whether Jesus is God or Jesus is like God and Jesus is their Trinity. So that's one topic that you would want to take into and really research and find what all of the Bible says in harmony with
Yeah.
So
because you want to support rather than if it's not supporting and something needs to be re-examined.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And just taking one scripture and saying, well, this is what it says, but you have to take the whole, the whole context.
Context is like the verse in the chapter. What does the chapter say? What does the book? What does the book say? What does the whole Bible say in the context? Who is it being said to? Who's writing it?
Exactly.
What's going on in the culture at the time? Like certain phrases would be something they use all the time that we don't necessarily use, so we want to know what it means by what they're saying.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. That's very important. So I'll definitely send that, and if you have any curiosity as well, any other questions, go to jw.org, and this actually, you know, even if you're interested in looking into, I'll give both of you one too. If you're interested, there's online Bible classes too. But if you prefer to have a conversation,
nowadays it's much better having face to face for me, anyways.
I have to admit, I watched some of your what is it called, the conference?
Oh yeah, the convention.
The convention.
Yeah, it's online.
I did watch some of it, and I admit there are certain things that I was like, I didn't really understand unless I asked another witness. Like, why did you like where they were? There was this video of these guys all sitting around a table talking about, you know, their time in jail, and I'm like, why are they in jail? Why are they in jail? And it took so long to finally reveal what they were talking about. And I thought it was written, and it's like, well, duh.
At first, I was the same. That was like, okay, well, where are they and what happened? And but it seemed to be like part of that video that it slowly kind of revealed.
Yeah, and that's what I figured they were going to eventually tell you, and they did.
You have to be patient. But no, I had a few moments where I'm like, what, you know, like, what is the scenario here before I understood it. But that's good. So as Kim said, if you go to that website and if there's a particular topic that you're interested in, there's search fields that'll, you know.
So you guys here, like how often do you guys come out here? Like,
well, we try to have a pretty steady presence in the community. So often there's somebody here on Friday mornings, but again, like weather dependent, right?
Sure.
So who knows kind of through the winter what that's going to be like. But either here is a place where we do this volunteer work, or I don't know if I'm pointing the right. Yes, I am pointing the right direction. You know where? On that corner, there's often you'll see people doing the same thing with the cars. So you're more than welcome to stop, and they would love to chat with you and meet you.
That's great. Usually like around this time of day, or is it just very all the time?
I think there's kind of generally 7 to 9 in the morning, but I don't know because it's dark out, right? So I don't know how well supported that is right now, but 10 to 12 often, and then 1 to 3 as well.
Awesome. Great.
Well, super nice to meet you guys. Joy, it was nice to talk to
in my
you.
car. Oh, sorry.
And I'll definitely I'll get a hold of you, and should we grab your number as well and give you a number? Or but you're gonna go on jw.org and then and then you can kind of
we can talk again sometime. I should let you know with my texting, because I'm on a really limited plan, I can't receive graphics. So you can text, and usually links come through okay. So that'll be fine. Yeah, if you send a graphic, it probably won't.
Oh, okay, good to know. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, all right.
Take care.
Stay warm.
Yeah, thank you.
We've left these ladies with the impression that we want to know lots more about the organization and what they believe. And we do want to know what they believe. That's not a lie. JWs claim to all believe the exact same thing, but I found they do have varied ideas on a number of different doctrines. So if we really want to connect with them, we need to know what they specifically believe. At this point, I think they feel they're very much in a teaching role, and that's fine because it opens the door for lots more important questions and interesting conversation. I'll let you know if we have any further discussion. So far, we've been texting, and she has sent me quite a few articles and videos to go through. I may even do a video or two on them, as I've gone through each one and made notes on some of them.